Hello, hello. Welcome back. I'm so glad you've decided to join me today. This is Dee, and we are going to be making another Christmas card today. I am doing a Christmas in July series and for this month of July, and so we're going to make another one. Okay, so let's just get some things out here. I have some ink. I have some supplies. Just going to show you different things. Okay. We are going to start by looking at this 5x7 card base. And while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to, I know this is like way early in the video, but we're going to do my stamp that I like to put on the back, because if I don't do it now while I'm thinking about it, I may forget. Or the front might be just a little bit too layered and it will stamp unevenly. So, okay, so let's get that going. Just so you know, it is hot in the craft room today, just like it is in much of the world, it seems like. We're in the upper 80s today, which is a little lower than we've been with this current heat wave, but it's going to heat up a little more tomorrow through the weekend, so hoo-hoo. Low 90s, here we come. Okay. Okay, 5x7 card base, and of course, if you haven't figured that out, that's 10x7, score at 5 inches. And if you've been following me, you know that my hand is, or my arm, I should say, is healing. Actually, the fracture is healed, and now I'm working on physical therapy. So I'm getting more mobility than I had last week, but I still have a little ways to go. But we'll get there. Just gonna keep working at my therapy, and I go to actual physical therapy 2 days a week, and then I do therapy at home, so supposed to do it twice a day. I don't always get that done, but every day for sure. And most days I do it twice a day now. So that's what the therapist told me last week. She said, we really need to get your mobility going, so we're gonna do these twice a day. And I'm having trouble with my glue once again. Let's poke a little hole here and see if that helps get that glue to come out. Okay. Hopefully you won't see any beads of sweat drop down on the floor or the the counter. That was kind of gross, wasn't it? It is, and I've had the window unit going for I want to say maybe 2 hours, and it's still only down to 85 in the room. So like I said, it is hot. It's not that much hotter outside, but because we don't leave the air conditioning on in the craft room full time, because that would be terrible on our electric bill. Excuse me, I only turn it on when I work out, and which is in this room, and when I'm working on a project. So okay, so I've been talking instead of explaining, so I'm sorry about that. This is a 4 4.5 by 6.5 piece of pattern paper, and I'm using the same pattern paper that I used last week because I had extra, and I thought, why not? It's going to be a different style of card, but I can make use of my pattern paper, and I really like it. Excuse me, that blue snowflake is really, really pretty. Okay, so this is, as you can see, just I cut out with this square die, the layering die set, and I cut that pattern paper out with my Big Shot before I came on camera. So that is glued down now. And we have another little something we're going to put on here. Now, but before that, actually, the heat is kind of affecting my brain, unfortunately. So let's, hang on. Okay, I am back. We are going to be using in this card today this little stamp and die set. If you can see that there. By the way, I buy these magnetic sheets and these little plastic envelopes or sleeves that I put the actual sheet in to store the sets that have stamps and dies, so that I have them all together. When I first started investing in stamps and dies, you know, a set, I would put the dies in one spot and the stamps in another and just make note. And then I realized that they make these kinds of supplies to help you organize your stuff better. So anyway, this is by Sizzix, and I've just folded this cardboard that comes with the packaging. It's called Christmas Tree, Joy to the World, and so I just store that in there. But that's a little aside here because I'm going to take this stamp, make sure you can see what I'm doing. Now, I believe I used this stamp in a Christmas card last year, I think. So, but we are going to stamp this little area right here. And let me see if I got it centered. I think that looks good. Now, let me get my stamp wheel. And we're going to put that in there. Hope I don't regret not. You know what? I better close this glue, or I'm going to have a sorry stuck mess. Okay. I'm going to set it here. And remember, the stamp wheel has that nice little grippy pad that comes with it. So we just put the put the card on here, or the panel, or whatever you want to stamp, and then it has this nice little top. And just a reminder, I like I hope you can see that, I like the little part of the lid with a hole to be at the top, and that tells me that it's the top. I think I'm going to expand this just so that I don't have to. Did it go the right direction yet? Oh yeah. Okay. Now, you're going to see some extra stuff here, and I apologize for that, but I just don't want to have to keep checking, because I have to check in my phone, because that's what I use to stamp, and so, and I'm short. So the way I have my phone set up to film is I have to get on my tiptoes to look, and if I know that I'm going to be in shot for most of what I'm doing, I'd rather do that. Okay, now we have the Altenew. By the way, this is the same ink set that I used for last week's card, and it's the lapis lazuli set, and I believe last week I used ultramarine, and that looked really good with what I was using. But I think I'm going to try Eastern Sky just to see, and these are minis, so they're gonna take a little while to stamp, and I'm still having a little, I still have weakness in certain things, so you know, to try to get the lid off the ink pad, it's just a little too much yet. But guys, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Now let's get this all inked. And if you hear the window air conditioning unit, I apologize, but I absolutely cannot work in here without it running. just can't. Okay, let's get this, and we will press down. I'll get my little hockey puck thing, and we'll put some pressure on here. Let's lift a step P. Ooh, I think I need maybe another layer. So let's do that. I believe I bought this set, this stamp and die set, before I started making Christmas cards last year. So this is technically the second year I've used it, but you know, you gotta reuse your supplies, because otherwise you're not getting your money's worth. And I really like this set. It's pretty. I think we'll stop there. Now, while I'm thinking about it, I want to take my cloth and let's get that so it doesn't collapse onto the card itself. Okay. And all right, now let's get this off the stamp wheel, and I'm just going to set this off to the side, and we'll be back. And now you might think, oh, are we done? No, we're not done. We're not done. I got to thinking about trying to make this a little different. You know, this actually would make a lovely, I would say, clean and simple Christmas card. It would be lovely. And then, you know, if there's another sentiment, we could stamp on the inside. I didn't think to get anything for the inside this time, but I have some things on order, and I'm really excited. So hopefully next week I'll have those supplies and make a card next week using them. So anyway, I have this, it's a smaller panel yet, so this will be, I believe, a quarter. You know what, I gave you the wrong measurements, I think. This is not, if I said 6.5 by 4.5, I was mistaken. It's a 1/4 inch difference, so it'd be 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. This, however, is cut to 4.5 by 5.5. And then I took a smaller, I will show you how I did this. I won't do it on camera, but I will show you how I did it. So let me get my Big Shot, and I'll just kind of show you, walk you through how to do this. Let's see, am I in shot at all? Okay. Now, this is what you call partial die cutting. If I would lay this square die on the cardstock and run it between my two plates like this, go all the way through, it would be all the way cut out like I did here on the pattern paper. But we did partial die cutting because I wanted to make a window that opens. And so this is how you do that. Now you have your platform, you have your bottom plate, you set your cardstock down, and you set your die where you want it. And this is a time where even if you have a magnetic plate or a platform like I do, my plates are a little warped, so things don't stay quite in place like they should. This is the time to use tape. Okay, so on the die, so that it doesn't go anywhere, because if it shifts and if it shifts and then you have a crooked die cut, and that's frustrating. So I'm not gonna actually do any die cutting, but I'm going to show you, therefore I will not tape it. Now to do partial die cutting. And I'm going to turn this around because this is actually the direction that I had it. You line this die up. I'm trying to line it up so it actually looks like it's going to be die cut. Okay, so the trick is partial die cutting. This top plate, you always have, when you die cut just regular dies, you always have a bottom plate and a top plate. And normally we put it on top here, right? We match it here, but not for partial die cutting. Partial die cutting involves moving the plate so that this is the part of the die I don't want to cut. So I'm putting the top plate behind, or as you can kind of see underneath where the die is, where you don't want it to cut. And so you roll it through your machine. I'm just going to pretend, and it's going to go through, blah, blah, blah. And then when you pull it out, because of how we put that that top plate on, and you take it off, this is where you're left with a part of the die that did not cut. Okay, it's really a fun technique. I've seen Jennifer McGuire do this a few times, and I thought, I'm gonna try that for this. Now let me get this out of the way. And I brought over a ruler, a metal ruler. I don't know why, just because I felt like it was kind of heavy duty. And so what we're going to do is we are going to line it up as best we can, because this should be a nice straight cut. All right, so we're gonna line it up like this. And I should probably make sure this is lined up straight. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. And then I'm going to bring over my little, hang on. Okay, I couldn't think of the word, but it's my scoreboard. That's what I was trying to come up with. Okay, so if this will make it, I think, safer to actually make a permanent crease, because it looks like it's lined up at the 1 3/4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to run it, and it's flush with the top, so it should be even. I'm just going to take my bone folder and make a crease. Okay, so we will have a good basis for our crease. Okay, this is like a window. Okay, let me get the scoreboard out of the way. And let's do something else before we actually glue this piece onto the card base. Now we have these extra stamps, and we have a star, we have another star, and I think I want to focus on, actually this is kind of the star that you put on a Christmas tree. But we're just gonna do a little experimenting. So I'll bring back my, what did I do with it? My stamp wheel, if I can figure out where I put it. Oh, for Pete's sake. I know I set it down near me. Oh. If you guys could see my craft room, you'd say, no wonder you can't find it. I have, we went through, my sisters and I went through our mom and dad's house, actually, but dad's been gone for a year and a half now, so We went through the house and trip by trip, took several trips, and we have the house totally cleared out now and up for sale. So I have some things that I took that are in the craft room. They're stacked up in the craft room, and honestly, and I couldn't deal with it right away because we have family visiting, and I just could not take the time to do it. And plus, you know, when it's 90 degrees in the craft room, I just didn't want to do that in the heat. So I'll probably wait until the weather cools off a little bit, and if I need to run the air, at least it won't be, you know, miserable even with the air running. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lightest color, and we have our, we have our stamp wheel. So I'm going to just do a little stamping, and we'll, I forgot what I said I was going to need to do, didn't I? Now, I don't believe I've used these little stamps, so I'm going to just do a little, that didn't stay very well, did it? Okay, let's just try it that way. This is going to be just a little stamping to cover the flap of the window. I can't see it. I hope it's showing up. Okay, now, I think it is. Now that I see it against the white. Ooh, what is that stuff that's there? That's crazy. Okay, let's do this again, and now I'm going to rotate the lid of the stamp wheel, and that's the beauty of using this stamp wheel. I'm going to try to find a place where I can, nope, that's not going to work. If I had thought about this more, I could have planned out better, but the whole idea is I could stamp this design and just rotate it, but because I didn't plan it out like that, I didn't. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna do a little haphazard, and we'll do the same thing. Okay, and then I'll just fill in as I need to. Okay, during the family visit, our niece, who has 4 kids that she adopted, and I may have mentioned this in the past before, and okay, and they also have a dog, and the dog's name is Talia. She and Stewie, our black lab, love playing together. It's so fun to watch them, and it's just Stewie just had the best time, and of course now they've all gone home, so I think Stewie's feeling a little like not sure what to do, because he had this extra company. They would be outside using our swimming pool, you know, one we put up every summer. It's not a permanent one, and so they just had the best time. Okay, let's do just a little examination here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I've got 6 little designs, and so I think I will do one like a star, like up here, and we'll not use the Christmas tree star. And then, then we will stamp it one more time, and we'll just use that as our little decoration. Okay, I like it. I really like it. All right, let me get that wiped off. Oop, that oh, that stamp wants to jump around, and some of the other ones were wanting to come off. So, okay, let's get this out of the stamp wheel. And I think I'm done with that, so. You know, I really am encouraged about my rehab for my arm. I mean, a week ago, I would not have been able to do this. It's so nice to be a little bit more independent. All right, so let's bring the card base back in. And let's do some gluing. And we'll put this panel on the card base. Now, the fun thing about this little window, whoever gets this card will be able to open it up and see the message inside. Let's get this here and get it centered. Now that liquid glue will help me have a little more time to make sure it gets adhered, or wiggle it around before I adhere it. Okay, so obviously this has a little crease, so the person who gets it will most likely automatically do this. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Oh, I like that. Now, I think I'm going to leave this the way it is. And if I have my little inside sentiments for the cards, I would go ahead and stamp something on the inside on camera, but I do not. So I'm just going to have to wait until I get it. Like I said, I hope it comes within the next week, and then I can do my next week's video using that. So we are good to go, I believe. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time that you take to watch my videos. I really do. I pray that you will be blessed this week and just have a good, safe week, and especially in the midst of all this heat. And anyway, so if you wouldn't mind, like, comment, subscribe, share, and when you subscribe, click that little notification bell so you get all the videos. I don't remember to say that when I do my little outro here, but I would like to do an outro where you see my face, but honestly, you would see a sweaty mess. So I think we'll call it good, and we'll wait for the weather to moderate a little bit, and then I can actually see you. Well, you know what I mean. Okay, guys, take care, and thanks for watching. Bye.